people, you know what it is. It's the free life class presented by Plated Soul, which is me, Chef Todd. All right, so we're gonna get started. I know you guys are probably like rushing through your prep and trying to get all of that done. So keep doing that. We are like perfect. We're still on time. I was a little 5 minutes late because guess what? I forgot ketchup. Okay, and ketchup is super important. So I know you at home are still like rifling through things to get things done, but it's okay. I gave us like a 15-minute buffer before we get started. All right, especially because sometimes, you know, people might be out still shopping, trying to get stuff to get back to attend this class. Okay, so
we've got Sherry on, Tanessia, Amber, Wendy, Linda, Maria, and Lilia.
All right, a lot of people are on right now. I can't remember all those names. Susie just shout out to me, but Amber, I know, Tanessia, Sherry,
Wendy,
welcome, Wendy, Linda, everybody that's here today. This is probably it's my first free life class, free life cooking class, and I'm excited because so many of y'all showed support for this to happen, for this to go down. I put it up on Facebook, and you guys were like, this is what I want to know how to make. This is what I want to know how to make. So instead of doing one dish, you guys made it possible for me to do 3. All right? So you guys are going to get tips on how to make 3 amazing dishes today, and it's going to be delicious. All right? In between, I'm going to give you some more tips to elevate the dish while you're at home by taking some of the things that are in your refrigerator or pantry to like just elevate whatever we're making, which is, you know what it is, quesadillas. We're making chicken quesadillas. We're making shrimp scampi with linguine, okay? And also we're making, if you have spaghetti, that's okay too. If whatever you prefer for pasta is up to you. Also, the pasta that I have that I'm going to be using today is fresh pasta, so it takes about 2 to 3 minutes to make. If you have the box pasta, then it's going to take about 10 to 11 minutes to get it al dente. And I'm going to tell you when, if you have box pasta, to start cooking your box pasta, okay? Also, we have, I think this is what everyone is mainly here for today, is to make Jamaican Brown Stew Chicken, okay? So a lot of you guys put up on the post on Facebook that you wanted to make something that's Jamaican related. Some people said jerk chicken, some people said curry chicken. Jerk chicken takes about 3 days to really, really make that super delicious, and you need a smoker or a grill, and we ain't got time to be going downstairs and upstairs, and like, if we want to make it authentically, that's what you're gonna need to do. And I might make a video, a YouTube video, to basically go over all the steps to making authentic Jamaican jerk chicken. Okay, so while you guys are going through your list of what you need for today, man, just make sure you have everything, because it's about to be a party up in this kitchen. You know what I'm saying? So, again, we are going to go over all the ingredients that you need for this free life class for all 3 dishes. So, Susie's going to come on over really quick, and we're going to go through some of the things that I have here. Let me move some stuff out the way. Put this over here on the side. All right, so first thing that we're making is the chicken quesadilla. And if you come on over here, good. Come on a little closer, Suze. All right, let me help you out, girl. Thank you. Good. So come on over here. What we do have is we have some mushrooms. Like I said, if you don't like mushrooms, that's totally fine. You can go without it. It's optional. We have some bell peppers, some red bell peppers. We have some green bell peppers. We have some previously cooked chicken breasts, and I said if you are prepping for today, make sure you have your chicken breasts ready so we can really fly through this first lesson, okay? And I already have a video on YouTube on how to make the most delicious, tasty, juicy, flavorful chicken breasts, and this is the result of making your chicken breast ahead of time. Okay, so we're going to slice into that, and we're going to elevate this a little bit, okay? Also, you need your Mexican cheese, right? This is the Mexican blend of quesadilla for quesadillas, right? I also have some leftover mozzarella that I use to make pizza, so I'm going to use a little bit of that too, but you can just use this, okay? Also, we have our tortilla shells, which are very, very important. These are the 10-inch, right? Tortilla shells. This is what we're going to use for today. Okay. Also, we are going to make some guacamole. So we have our one avocado, right? And we have lime. We have cilantro, right? And we have some salt, Himalayan salt. And we also have some black pepper. That's all you need for that right there. Good. I just dropped some cilantro on the floor, so I'm going to throw that out in the garbage. And I'm going to bring the garbage a little closer so it's in the shot. Okay, so there we go. Also moving on to the shrimp scampi. Here we go. We have our shrimp. This is the large 16 to 20 count or jumbo shrimp right here, white shrimp, which I peeled and divined myself and made sure it's dry, because if you're going to sear this shrimp, it needs to be dry to get that nice crust on the outside. Okay, it's very important. Okay, also we have our linguine pasta. This is what we're going to be biting into today, and the sauce is just going to coat all of it. This is the linguine pasta from Wegmans. It's fresh, good. It's going to take about 2 to 3 minutes to cook. Right? So if you have the box pasta, like I said before, make sure you are going to put it in when we start this whole process so you can have it cooked and ready for when the sauce is ready. Okay? We have all of our things. Also, we have our flat leaf parsley, and we have our garlic and lemons, right? Because the shrimp scampi takes lemons, and it's super important to have lemons. Okay? Right? Again, I keep dropping herbs on the floor because I'm showing them to you, right? So that is what we need for the shrimp scampi, and we have also some white wine, some white cooking wine, and we have some white cooking wine here, or we have some white balsamic vinegar if you don't drink, okay? Or if you don't want alcohol a part of this food. But white wine does it the best. Okay, so if you have some white drinking wine at home, that's also okay. I don't drink, so I use the cooking wine. Okay, so that's it for the shrimp scampi, right? And then we're going to move on to the brown stew chicken. All right, the brown stew chicken is going to need a few things, right? It's going to need some carrots. And hold on one second, let me get those carrots from the refrigerator. All right, here we go. All right, they're not in that refrigerator, they're outside, right? So, all right, so we need our carrots that are already chopped. Just put it down and tilt it up, right? So they're in my small refrigerator outside. But we need the carrots that are already chopped. We're gonna need some chayote squash, which looks like this, right? This is our chayote squash. I talked about this, what was it? Friday, I did a live. I think was it Friday or Saturday, Suze? Saturday I did a live about what? Oh, Friday. Okay. I did a live about the chayote squash and where to find them. I know you guys had trouble finding them, but you know, if you don't have them, that's also okay. We can use potatoes, okay? Because it's kind of like a potato. It's just a little bit. It's definitely a squash, but it cooks like a potato, okay? But it absorbs all the sauce and the flavor, so it's just amazing, okay? So here we go. I'm going to show you everything that you do need, and I started prepping some of the things already, so I can be ahead of like timing, right? Because I don't want you to spend all the time of me here trying to show you how to prep these things. That's another video and another time. All right, so here we go. We have our carrots, which are right here, that are prepped, right? And we have our chayote squash that we're gonna use right here, good. And I also have a potato, red potato, right? And we're gonna peel that, and I have a carrot to show you how to prep your carrots at home, which is right here. We're gonna do that later. And this shallot is for the shrimp scampi. So this goes right here for the shrimp scampi. Okay, I'm gonna put this over here because that's where my brown stew chicken is, and all the ingredients are over there. I also have the ketchup for the brown stew chicken, which is really important, and I have the apple cider right over there, and the chicken stock. Okay, so that's like a run through of almost everything that you do need for this for this free live cooking class, right? And we are going to get started in about 5 minutes. I'll give a couple more people some time to get connected and to be a part of this. And then we're just going to jump right in. I am ready. Susie's going to pass me my, I just hit the mic. Susie's going to pass me my apron, and we're going to get started. So I'm going to put the apron on now, right?
We've got a lot of people who are saying they're new here. They're
Okay.
really excited.
Awesome.
Amber said, I bought fresh pasta. Also love it, and it's quick to cook. That is nice.
Yes, it's like 3 minutes, and you don't have to struggle waiting for it. It's like you put it in, and within like 3 minutes, it just floats to the top. Okay? I would say right now, fill your pot that you're going to use to cook your pasta in with some hot water, so you're ahead of the what you need to do, right? And you don't have to fill that later when we get started, right? I have already filled my pot of water with I've already filled my pot with water to get ready to cook the pasta later on, all right? Because that's the second lesson. The first lesson is the chicken quesadillas, okay? So while I'm talking to you, right? What are you guys doing? What you got going on other than this cooking class right now? It's Sunday. What you got planned after? I know you're gonna eat.
Nice.
Yeah, it's super nice right now. So I'm very thankful that you are here to experience this class right now, because otherwise, man, it's the warmest day we've had in quite a while. So I would imagine that people will be outside taking walks and things like of that nature, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start prepping my my peppers, good, and my mushrooms, because that's the first thing that I'm gonna sear up and add some flavor to. Okay?
Karen says she's taking notes.
Yes, Karen's up in the house, right? So don't worry, I'm gonna walk over here. Good. I'm gonna walk over here and get my paring knife, right? Because that's what I'm gonna use. I'm gonna get my boning knife as well. Right? I'm gonna put them right here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my favorite knife right now. I've actually kind of retired my chef knife, and I've been using this cleaver knife, which I call Big Mike right here. Big Mike is everything right now. This is what I use. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this pepper in half, right? Right? And we are only going to use, I would say, a quarter of the pepper to do this chicken quesadilla, right? Same thing with this. We can use the peppers to make omelets or something later on in the week, but I'm going to use about a half of this long red bell pepper and about a quarter of the green. Good? So after I cut that in half, what I'm going to do is cut out the core and all the seeds, as well as the webbing almost around the pepper, right? And I'm using the paring knife, which I also call Tiny Tim. If you've watched my videos on YouTube, I've named all my knives because they're like family, okay? So I cleared the core of the pepper and the seeds and the webbing. I'm going to throw that in the garbage, right? Throw all that stuff in the garbage, right? And what I'm going to do is get to chopping this bad boy with my cleaver. And if you have a chef knife at home, this is when you get onto your chef knife, okay? So what I'm going to do is kind of julienne these real quick. Julienne them, and what I'm going to do is go across and get these nice and cubed in some nice cubes. So that's done right there. That's our first part of it.
Someone did say they need to learn how to use Big Mike.
Oh, Big Mike? I like Big Mike because he's very balanced. I just got this I think about 3 months ago. I went to a Chinese shop in Buffalo, and they had a few of these, and I was like, I'm getting one of those. So I got Big Mike for a really good price, and it's nice and sharp, and it's got a lot of leverage, and I can use it very quickly to cut through things right there, right? So we have our peppers are prepped, right? What else do we need? We need some onions, right? because I'm going to use some onions as well in this whole thing. And what I'm going to do, we don't need a lot, so I'm going to cut this in half right there. Good. And what I'm going to do is cut off one end and then leave the other and peel the outside, right, to get rid of that outer layer. And I've got the end right here, which I don't need all of this, so I'm just going to do about a little bit. All right, I'm going to cut it the same size as the peppers, and what I'm doing is I'm going back, right, with the knife. Good. And I have a nice, like, long length cuts right there, and what I'm going to do is hold this, cut it once, and then cut it again, just like that. All right, and I just need a few of these. Right, we don't need a lot of onions, and then just go down, just like that, and we are done with our peppers. We don't with our onions. Sorry, right? We're done with the onions. We just need a little bit. We just need a little bit to bring some flavor to this quesadilla behavior. You know what I'm saying? All right, that's it. We'll save that save the rest of it for our Jamaican Brown Stew Chicken. But here we go. We are all prepped and ready for our chicken quesadilla, right? So what I'm also going to do is I'm going to slice up my chicken, right? I'm going to push this to the side. Chicken's already cooked. It's not raw, so you don't got to worry about cutting your vegetables and your meat on the same cutting board. It's all good, y'all. It's cooked already. That's why I said to make sure you cook your chicken breast before you get here. Or if you have leftovers, you know, you can use it. You can use that instead of worry about cooking the chicken breast, because we're going to cook chicken later on, and I'm going to go from scratch for the Jamaican Brown Stew Chicken, right? So this is already seasoned, already cooked. It's ready to go. So I'm going to go down the chicken, right? It's been sitting in the refrigerator overnight, and I'm just cutting down, and I'm going to cut some nice chunks, right? So we have enough protein for this quesadilla. Good. Cut it down, put that back in the middle, right? And I'm just going to go down and cut it into nice little chunks, right? This is kind of a way of how I also go about prepping for the week. Like, I will prep my chicken however I want it, right? I will prep my chicken like this, and then I cook it or repurpose it throughout the week in multiple different ways, okay? The only thing I don't use this for is when I'm making stir fry, because I slice the chicken up really thin, so then it only takes like a good 5 minutes to really cook the chicken, right? And that's 5 minutes to cooking chicken and making sure all your vegetables are cooked. 10 minutes, making a meal in 10 minutes or less, that's like better than ordering out. You know what I'm saying? So, little tip right there of how I go about my situation throughout the week, okay? All right, so you have your chicken prepped, ready to go here. Let me put this in the sink. Good. Put that in the sink. So we have our chicken, we have our onions, we have our peppers, and also we're going to need our mushrooms to get ready, okay? So we are going to use this to cut up the mushrooms. I need more space on my cutting board, but it's okay, right? We still gonna make it work, okay? So here we go. We're just gonna cut up a few mushrooms, but I'm gonna get started, all right? I'm gonna get started. I can prep the rest while I'm doing everything, so I'm not gonna waste your guys' time, right? So everyone should have everything prepped right now. If you have any questions, ask me before I get started, because once I get started, you're gonna only have questions about the cooking process, all right? So we are ready to go. Good. All right, everyone set? All right, let's go. Let's start this.
Going good, ready to eat, basically.
Yes. All right, let's do it. Let's get this started. So I'm going to turn this stove on, and we're going to start this quesadilla process, which is going to take about 12 minutes, all right? Here we go, because I'm talking to you and doing it at the same time. All right, so what I'm going to do is turn on the rear stove, and if you have gas stove, it might take a little bit longer for things to heat up, right? But I'm going to put this on a little past medium, right, and let that start to heat up. So I'm turning on my smaller skillet, which is like a 10-inch skillet, and this one is like a 12-inch skillet. So we're going to use both right now, okay? So I'm going to turn on my bigger skillet, right? Bigger skillet to about medium, right? And the back one is going to be a little past medium, okay? All right, so we're going to get this thing started, right? We're going to let those heat up for a little bit. Dry all the water out of the bottom of your skillet because we don't want to cause any issues with fire. Good. Got some smoke coming from this. Wipe this down. Come on now. Got some smoke coming from the stove because I cooked last night, so we had some some splatter of oil that went onto the stove. So it has to kind of like come off. Right, I'm gonna wipe that down really quick with some water before we get this started.
Sherry says that she's wrapped in a blanket.
She's wrapped in a bed. Who?
Sherry.
Oh.
Sherry Biller. I think she said she was also new today. So.
Okay, awesome. She's wrapped in a blanket,
yes.
So she's just watching. This is like the Food Network right now.
Yes. And then Jackie D said the ingredients all look so good together. Mouth is already watering.
Yes. Because it's going to be good, all right? So we've got our pans heating up real quick. I'm going to grab my olive oil, right, and I'm going to put that in the pan. I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons of olive oil in there, and what I'm going to do for my tortilla shells is, take the tortilla shells. I'm going to take about 2 of them. This is kind of like the first tip that you need for making your tortillas. You can actually take 1 tortilla, and if you're just by yourself and you want to just make it for yourself, you just put some cheese and stuff and all the filling on one end and then fold it on the other, okay? But today we're making it for quite a few people, okay? So we're gonna use 2. Right? We're making 2, right? So what we're gonna do is get some butter, all right? And we're going to melt it. We're gonna take like a half tablespoon or like 2 teaspoons of butter and put it in your pan and like swirl that around, right? We're gonna let that melt and swirl it around nice and smooth, right? We just want to coat the entire bottom of the skillet really quick, right? Right? And that's the first part of doing your quesadilla, is that you got to get butter on both sides of your tortilla shells, on one side of one of your tortilla shell and on the other side, all right? Whatever side is going to hit the bottom of the skillet, okay? So with that said, what I'm going to do is, first thing is I'm going to put one in, swirl it around a little bit, right? And then the other one, do the same thing, right? Put one side down, and I'm going to hold this one out. Let me remove this, right? All right, hold one right there. I'm going to put the other one right over here. Good. To get it out the way. And I'm just going to use my hand because the pot is not the skillet is not really warm or hot yet. I'm just going to let it sit right there, right? And get all the butter all over it, right? So that is ready to go. Good. So we're going to get our vegetables nice and sauteing, so we can get this party on the road. Woo, you hear that action? Time for that action. Ooh, and it already smells good. Onions, peppers, all that goodness already smells good. And mushrooms, okay? We're gonna put some more mushrooms in there. I'm gonna put about 3 mushrooms, like I said. It's gonna be a hefty, hearty, it's going to be a hard quesadilla, right? So get that going. put a little bit more. Right. There we go. While your tortilla shell is gradually toasting, right? What I'm doing is getting the rest of the things that I need for it. I'm going to hit this with some salt, like a teaspoon of salt, right? Teaspoon, and then a teaspoon of pepper. And Susie's pushing me out the way because I'm blocking the shot, right? Teaspoon of salt, teaspoon of pepper, right? And there we go. We are going to swirl that thing around, get it nice and cooking. And if you have some type of white vinegar right now, or white balsamic vinegar, or if you have some apple cider vinegar, we're going to use that to basically elevate these vegetables so that when you bite into the quesadilla, you're not just tasting bland cheese and vegetables, but it has this kick of some acidity that's going to make your palate go, whoo, this is good, right? So there we go. That is your vegetables searing up, looking good, sauteing real quick. Got that going. This is your tortilla shell right here. We're gonna get our cheese, right? Our Mexican blend of cheese. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna open it and we're gonna start to sprinkle some of this cheese on the bottom. Good. So the cheese acts as glue. If you didn't know, it acts as glue for all your vegetables and protein, right? So we need enough glue on the bottom of the bottom tortilla, and we're gonna put some on the top of the vegetables and protein as well to get things going, all right? So make sure it sticks, right? So you don't have to use a lot, but you gotta cover the entire bottom, especially if you like your quesadilla cheesy, okay? Perfect, all right? So there we go. The cheese will melt in a second while this is cooking. Good. We are making a mess already. That's all right. I'm trying to be away from the stove while I'm showing you so I'm not behind the skillet. I'm like to the side while Susie is like trying to get the nice shot for you guys. Let me turn this on. There we go. Good. There we go. Our vegetables are basically cooked right now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn the stove up on high really quick. And what I'm going to do is take some of my white balsamic vinegar, right? And I'm going to add this chicken to the skillet really quick. So it's kind of like a stir fry, right? Add this to the pan. Get it all going. So that's the filling of your quesadilla, right? Looking good, looking really good, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some acid to this pan. I turned it up really high so that the acid reduces really quick as soon as I add it, and it just adds this perfume and acidity to all of the vegetables and chicken, right? So it's going, it's on high. This is only going to be for a second, right? You just add it and you're going to hear that, right? That's going to add a really amazing flavor to your chicken so that when you bite into it, it bites back and says, hey, you just made something delicious, right? So that's it right there. That is the final thing. So you can add apple cider vinegar or white balsamic if you have it. And that is the filling of your quesadilla, right? And I'm taking it off the stove.
Amber wants to know, do you normally use salted or unsalted butter?
I use unsalted because we're adding salt to everything. Salt to your chicken, salt to your vegetables. So I use unsalted butter for almost everything. Okay? So now we're going to take this, right? And I'm going to take my metal spatula real quick. And what I'm going to do is put this onto my quesadilla. Into the tortilla shell. and spread that around. All right, and it smells, Susie smells it already. It smells amazing already, right? We're going to put it in. Right? You might have some left over. You can save it for later. You can make another one. Good.
You can make an omelet.
You can make an omelet with chicken. It's like, ooh, that's kind of weird.
No,
chicken in an omelet. Which came first? Okay, so there you go, right? You just need to fill it. Don't go too far over to the edges. Just keep everything into the middle, right? And there you go. You have the first part of your quesadilla done, right? So what you're going to do is put some cheese on top of that. Got to give Susie some time to get away from me, all right? We might have to also open a window or something to get this nice flavor that we're creating. We got to get the neighbors to say, hello, what you cooking over there? Right? So there we go. We're going to put the rest of this cheese, because we want it cheesy, y'all. We want it cheesy. We're going to put it on top. Just like that. You guys are going to see, like the little kick of white balsamic vinegar that you put in there, and that combination with the heat and the vegetables and the chicken is going to make this incredibly delicious, right? So, right, we are done right there. You know, I'm going to put some mozzarella on there too, just to get it extra cheesy. Just a little bit, just hit some around the sides, on top, right? We have this on medium, so it's not burning, it's just gradually cooking. We don't have to rush, right? We're just getting a toast on it. And what I'm going to do is put the tortilla shell on top, and you'll see that the bottom one shrunk a little bit, right? So that's all you need, right? So the trick of getting this to flip over without any issues is to get a plate, because you can't flip this with in the skillet. You lose everything, okay? So you need a nice flat skillet. And let me wipe this down because I just washed this. Okay.
You need a flat plate.
Yeah, you need a flat plate to make sure you can flip this successfully without losing any of your ingredients.
Jacqueline Foster, thank you, God bless you for your cooking.
Right? So here, what we're going to do is we're just going to put this down in the pan, right? And what we're going to do is flip the pan like that, and look at that beauty right there. Look at that. Okay? So when I put this back into the skillet, the bottom, now what was once the top is going to be the bottom, and that bottom is going to it's going to shrink just as the top one did. All right? So we're just going to put this back in. Right? We're going to put this back in, slide it off. Good. And there we go. Right? This process, again, is super simple. So the bottom one is going to shrink enough for you to have this quesadilla. That quesadilla is basically done. So while that's going, what I'm going to do is make the avocado guacamole, right, situation, so you can actually, use this as a topping onto your quesadilla, right? So let's do that real quick. We ain't got to worry about that because it's on medium. And it's going to gradually toast, right? You see how long it took, right, for it to basically toast up. So you don't have to worry about it for a little bit, right? So what we're going to do is get our cilantro, right? And I'm going to take a healthy portion of it, like a handful right here. I'm going to take a handful of it, and I'm going to use Big Mike. I'm going to wipe the extra chicken pieces off of this thing right here.
Jackie said that tortilla is perfectly golden.
Yes, yes. You got to make it, right? Because that crust is important. If you ain't got that crust, it ain't a tortilla. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it ain't a quesadilla. It's not a tortilla, right? So what I'm gonna do is cut up this cilantro that I'm going to use, right, and you can use less cilantro if you want to, but I like my guacamole with a lot of cilantro. All right, nice and, yes, there we go. So cilantro is nice and prepped. While that's toasting, there we go. Put that there. I'm going to make it in this plate right here. So I have one lime, right? One lime. We have one lime right here. So what I'm going to do, put that to the side, and I'm going to roll it on the counter. Roll it on the counter so to release the juices from the sides of the lime, okay? Also, we have our avocado right here. Good, we have our avocado, which is perfectly ripened, right? I got this last night. They had them at Whole Foods. Actually, they had them at Whole Foods for $5. So, avocados were cheap this weekend. They're normally like, what is it, $2.99 or $1.99 or something like that?
The sales were like 2 for $4.
All right, so I'm going to take Big Mike and I'm going to cut into it lengthwise and just bring it all the way around and then just rotate it a little bit to the side, and there we go. Avocado ready, and I'm just going to hit the inner core seed and just rotate it and take it out, okay? So that is our avocado. Then I'm going to take my paring knife, right? Paring knife really quick, and I'm just going to go around and just take the skin off of the avocado, okay? Get my hand all nice and messy. I could scoop this out with the spoon, but I guess I just like, you know, touching everything with my hand.
Roslyn and Debbie love the use of the plate. Roslyn said, I was wondering the best way to flip. Thank you.
You are welcome. I got them tips. I got them tips, right? So that's the best way to do it, to not lose any ingredients, and basically just, it's easy. You don't get burnt. You know, everything is good. You all good, right? Let me wash my hands a little bit, right? Your quesadilla should be almost done, right? You can see it. Oh, and you feel that top, it's nice and crunchy. Got the cheese crust around it. Like you can see it's almost, the diameter of both are almost even. Once they both get even, then you're done, right? So it's almost there. Here we go. So what we're gonna do for this is add our, right there. I'm not gonna use any, if you have sour cream, use some sour cream, but here we go. We have some cilantro we're gonna add to that. We're gonna add some Himalayan salt, probably like a teaspoon or teaspoon and a half. All right, we're gonna use some pepper as well. All right, some spice, and we're gonna take our lime. You're probably gonna need about a tablespoon of lime juice. That's it. Good, and now you just crush that, all that together with a fork. I'm gonna go over here and get my fork. All right, and if the avocado is ripe enough, this process should not be as hard. It should be like really cooked potatoes right now. And you just crush those things, right? If you have a little bit of sour cream, definitely put the sour cream in and crush these together. It gives it a smoother finish, right? Just a little bit. Don't put a lot in there because you don't want the color to look off or opaque, right? So there we go. I can hear that the quesadilla is done, right? So that is our first part of this lesson. We are done. Look how quick that was, okay? First part of the lesson is done, right? So our chunky monkey, no, I'm kidding. Our guacamole is complete and our quesadilla is done. Like all that timing, what I'm gonna do, put it on a plate and then cut it like a pizza, and it's time to serve it and eat it. Okay, so we are done with our quesadilla, right? What I'm gonna do is take it out with my spatula really quick. So gracefully take it out, put it on the plate right there, and that's your quesadilla, right? Perfect. Turn the stove off. All right, that's our first part of the lesson. All right, now we're going to cut it. All right, I think I have like a cheese cutter. Let me see if it's long enough. No, I'm gonna get my pizza cutter right here. Just use my pizza cutter to cut through this while it's hot, and you're gonna hear that crunch as I'm. Woo, you hear that? Ugh, ugh, so good. All right, cut it across. All right, it's nice and juicy, nice and cheesy. Cut it into bite-sized. And I'm holding this while I'm cutting it. Oh, look at that. Juice and cheese like pouring out of this thing right now. It is perfect. Right? That is your quesadilla. Right? Looking good. Looking delicious. Tell me that doesn't look good. What I'm going to do is pull this out to the side. Put all of these separately out to the side. Right? There we go. So you have clear pieces to bite into. All right, there we go. That's your first part of this lesson is done. Get that piece over to the side. And what I'm going to do is just pour the guacamole in the middle so you can go ahead and dip it just like that photo I posted for this, right? What I'm going to do is get this guacamole, put it right in the middle, right there, and tell me that's not a beautiful dish. That's a beautiful starter slash dinner slash lunch slash, damn, I can make this anytime I want. You know what I'm saying? And it's super quick. Here we go. That is your quesadilla. Look at all the crunchy pieces on the plate. So you know it's going to be delicious. Right? That's your first part of it. First part of the lesson is done. Chicken quesadillas ready and tasty and delicious. I might have to taste one for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be chewing in your ear, so like don't get crazy. Okay? That's the first part of our lesson. Okay, let me throw away this lime. Right? So I'm going to take this piece right here of quesadilla, put a little bit of guacamole on there, and I'm going to bite into this. Again, I'm going to chew in your ear, so. That's delicious. That is delicious. You can tell by adding that white balsamic vinegar, or if you're at home, the apple cider vinegar, just such an amazing elevation to the filling of the tortilla, chicken and the vegetables, okay? That's good. That is delicious. If you're at home, let me know if you made this and you're tasting it. Of course, don't burn your tongue or the roof of your mouth because it's really hot, okay? What?
Hold on. It says internal temp high, allow to cool. So it might have just turned off camera. So keep talking with the people.
All right.
This might be a little hot. I'm not sure.
All right. So the camera got a little hot, guys. So in order for us to keep it going, it has to cool a little bit. All right.
So we can switch to this camera if you want, so you can still talk to them. Yeah. So just tell them.
Okay.
We're just gonna switch.
So we're gonna switch to the other. We're gonna switch to the camera of the computer. So while it's cooling, so you guys can actually see me a little bit. I guess this is yeah. All right. So this the camera got a little hot, so we had to switch to the computer camera, so you guys can still see me. But that completes our first lesson. Okay. We're gonna try to stay a little bit back from the. We're gonna try to stay a little bit back from the food, so you guys can see what's happening. Okay.
Fun stuff.
All right. So there we go. All right. So we have just finished our quesadilla right here. Good. Quesadilla is done. So what's next is we have to start our shrimp scampi, right? So let's move these things off of the stove and get ready for our shrimp scampi, right? All right. We don't have any dishwashers. That's a part of this situation that we're doing right now. So I have to do everything, right? So we needed that time to regather everything. So, whoop.
Amber said, "I'm gonna make another one."
You're gonna make another? She ate it. You ate it all already? All right. Here we go.
So we're just gonna make this happen.
Oh God.
We're just gonna make it work.
Ooh.
And,
All right. It's kind of dark.
That's all right.
All right. While the camera is cooling, right? We just need to prepare our skillet and everything else that we're gonna need for the shrimp scampi. Okay?
If they have any questions.
If you have any questions, let me, shoot them. I will be able to answer them while I'm cleaning. So, all right, we've got our skillet cleaned, right? We are going to get the stove also a little ready for the shrimp scampi. It's shrimp scampi time. Good?
Do you always make quesadillas like that?
I do. I always make them like that. But I switch up the flavors. Like I'll do like a chicken and spinach quesadilla with different cheese, like Parmigiano or Parmigiano Reggiano or Parmigiano Pecorino Romano. Okay.
You're just making up words.
No, I'm not. Like I'll change up the cheeses and the proteins. So I'll change it up to steak. I'll change it up to shrimp. I'll add shrimp. I'll add just those are the three main things, three main proteins I use for my quesadillas. Is chicken, shrimp, or steak. Mm-hmm. Okay? You can also use some ground beef.
That sounds good.
Yeah, ground beef as well. Right? So as I wipe this down, we clean as we go, so we don't have to clean up too much later. Right?
Cheryl says, "Can't wait to make the quesadilla. It looks delicious."
Yeah.
And then Amber said, "For the shrimp scampi, can you omit?
Right.
Can you leave out the shrimp and use chicken instead if you have seafood allergy like I do?"
Yeah, that's totally fine. Good. You're just gonna have to cut your chicken into really small, thin pieces, right? Because it needs to cook really quickly, right? So you want to make sure you cut your chicken into small little pieces. Okay.
And then Cheryl asked, "Do you ever add onion and tomato to your guacamole?"
No, I don't ever do that. Like I don't. Again, I don't think a lot of people understand this, but I am a very, very picky eater, right? So onions and fresh onions, and only in a pico de gallo I will eat onions like that. But in my guacamole, I don't add tomatoes or onions, right? The one thing that's really key about my guacamole is a Himalayan salt. The Himalayan salt and avocado just have this like perfect marriage that makes it incredibly tasty. Okay, so I don't need tomatoes or red onions. Like it's so good all by itself. Okay.
I agree.
All right. So, and many people that have tasted my guacamole also agree with that.
It's delicious.
Yes, it's very, very delicious. Right. So we're moving on. Right. You know what you need to do, Susie? Open up the windows so it can create some air. Okay. Right. I'll go right here. Good.
Does it look like it's on it?
I think so. All right. Yeah. So all we're doing right now is basically preparing for our shrimp scampi, right? As our camera has decided, you know what? Right now, I'm not feeling the heat, right? I'm not feeling the heat. So we have to kind of create some coolness in order for this to happen and for this to go down so you can actually see it, okay? So there we go, because it's going to get continuously hot up in here, All right, the food is going to be continuously hot. The food is going to be continuously delicious. That's just our first lesson, right? So we have our shrimp right here, right? We have our shrimp, right? They've been chilling on paper towel for about an hour now, right? So it's nice and dry on the outside. This is one of the keys to getting a crust on your shrimp, okay? Make sure it's completely dry all the way around, okay? So what we're gonna do is remove that paper towel, right, from under your shrimp and put it all on this plate. Good? So here we go. Fresh, nice white shrimp, looking good, right? And what we wanna do is start cooking this shrimp on high heat. Okay, we are going to season the shrimp first though, right? We're going to season it with some salt. So about a teaspoon and a half of salt, all the shrimp together, right? What we're going to do is also get some pepper right over here. Get some pepper, right? Also season that with about a teaspoon of pepper, right? I'm going to do some garlic powder and some onion powder. Good. Garlic powder, onion powder, and I'm going to use some chili powder, just a touch of chili powder, right? And some parsley, dried parsley flakes. I'm going to hit that with about less than a teaspoon of dried parsley flakes, right? So that is our shrimp seasoning, and I'm going to hit that finally with some olive oil all over the shrimp right there. And I'm going to use my hands. I'm going to go in with my hands and get this nice and coated, get all the shrimp coated in all that seasoning that I just put on there. Here we go. And I think Felicia asked me, how do I get my shrimp not to steam, right? This is a part of it because every protein, every vegetable, all have a percentage of water, right? And how your pots and skillets are designed is to release the water. So a skillet is perfect to sear items in, sear ingredients in, because it's designed for steam to go out, right? Steam to go out of the outer portion of the skillet because it flares out. I'm going to wash my hands now, right, with some water and soap because we're going into a whole new thing. Yeah. So Susie's going to be in and out with the camera because we don't want it to overheat again. So we're going to switch it back to our normal HD camera. Here we go.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And
There we go. It's on.
It just always does that. Here we go.
There we go. There we go.
Perfect.
So we are back. Take a look at this shrimp, Suze. All right, this is the shrimp. It's seasoned.
Yeah, what'd you do to it again?
It's got some salt. It's got some pepper. It's got some onion powder. It's got some garlic powder. It's got some a little touch of chili powder. It's got some parsley flakes, and it also has some olive oil. Okay? So what we're gonna do is start this process, but we need to fill a pot with water to about 3/4 the way up. Good. No heat right now, right? And we're going to start by turning the stove on high, right? That's going to be on high, and we're going to make this super salty. So I'm going to get some kosher salt. All right, I'm going to get some kosher salt, and I'm going to put about 3 tablespoons in this thing, right? Like they say all the time, it should be as salty as the sea. So there we go. Right? Maybe like 2.5 tablespoons. 3 tablespoons might be a little bit too much. Right? So what we're going to do is also add some olive oil to the water so the pasta does not stick together. Okay? So we're going to turn that on, right? And we're going to let that come to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, people that have the box pasta, throw them things in because this sauce takes about 10 to 12 minutes to make. Right? So by the time the pasta is done, you'll be ready to put it in the sauce. Okay, so we are going to start searing our shrimp, and this takes literally 2 minutes once the pan heats up, right? Because we are going to cook our shrimp maybe half the way and then finish it when we put it into the sauce slash pasta, okay? Very important, right? We're not gonna overcook our shrimp. Quick story about that, okay? So when I auditioned for my first Master Chef, guess what? My thing was cooking this jerk shrimp, right? With pineapple salsa, right? And I cooked the salsa. I cooked the shrimp perfectly, but because because some of the cooking takes place right after you're done cooking, right? The shrimp overcooked, and because of that, the executive chef that tasted my shrimp was like, the flavors are amazing, however, your shrimp is overcooked. I've never overcooked shrimp after that, right? And I looked at him like, what you mean my shrimp overcooked? I was like, okay. He's like, did you cook it to a point where it was perfectly cooked, and then transported it here? And I was like, yeah. I was like, that's why your shrimp is overcooked. So that, always in my head, like if you are going to cook shrimp or you're going to travel with shrimp, undercook it so that when you take it off the stove, it continues to cook and finishes, and it's beautiful.
Reheat it, you're saying? Like if you have to reheat
No, it just continues to cook after you remove it from the heat. Oh. Okay? So make sure you cook. What we're going to do is turn this stove on about high to get that really nice and hot, and we're going to be adjusting the heat for this skillet, right? Now it's time to get really busy with cooking, right? So here's our shrimp scampi. It's gonna happen in about 15 minutes, right? So our shrimp is nice and seasoned. Our pan is heating up. Our water for the pasta is right here. So while that's happening, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to get my shallot, right? I'm gonna cut that up really quick, right? Cut the end off, because we're using some shallots after we sear the shrimp to create some nice flavors. We're going to build some flavors for this shrimp scampi, right? So here we go.
Someone had a question about avocados. Do you want to take that right now?
Yeah, go ahead.
How do you know when it's right?
Okay, so avocado, to know how an avocado is perfectly ripe, it should be slightly when you try to feel it from picking it up from the grocery store, the produce section, it should have some give to it, right? But it shouldn't be completely it shouldn't your fingers shouldn't sink into it as soon as you touch it. It should have when you press into it, it should feel soft, but also firm. Okay? So, that is our...
Any color? Do you look for color?
No, color doesn't matter on an avocado. Whether it's... Because they have it's darker or green, right? It doesn't matter. It all depends on how it feels, right? Right now, this is slightly green, right? But this one is perfectly ripe. Good. And this one has about another day, right? If you see that. All right? It's an off coloring of green and dark, right? So this one is perfectly ripe right now. This one I'm going to eat today. Good. Or I'm going to put it in the refrigerator.
So just a little give.
Yeah, just a little give. And when you feel it, don't squeeze as if you're squeezing, take your time, press into it to feel it, right? Don't overdo it, right? So while this is going, I'm prepping the shallots really quick. Put that over to the side, right? Same thing. I'm going to do the same thing as I did for the quesadilla earlier. I make long cuts, and then I do a cross section, and there you go. We have our diced shallots right there, right? Perfect. Right? We're also going to need some garlic. So I have some garlic right here. And peel that. We're going to need about, I'd say about 4 cloves of garlic. Right? 4 cloves of garlic, and I'm going to show you a shortcut. You probably already know how to do this if you use a lot of garlic at home, right? But what I'm going to do, because Big Mike has so much surface area as a knife, right? What I'm going to do, whether you have a Big Mike or you have a chef knife, right? What you're going to do is you are going to basically put this over your clove of garlic and hit it like that, and do that for all of them, and then peel it by hand. Good? And I can hear my pan screaming at me right now because it's hot, right? Right? So what we're going to do is take that off to the side real quick and let that chill out, right, before I add oil to it, because we definitely don't want the oil to burn right now, right? So we're going to keep it hot because we're just like a second away from adding the shrimp to it, right? Now our pan is boiling. What I'm going to do is turn the stove down to a little bit past medium. And then when I add the pasta to it, you guys can add your pasta right now, okay? Whomever is cooking out of the box for the pasta, you can actually put that in right now because we're really close to getting this thing done and ready. So here, cut this up as well. Same action.
It really is the prepping that takes the most time.
It is. So the cooking does not really take that long. It's prepping to make sure you have all the ingredients. If you make sure you have all the ingredients before and it is prepped, then things go really smoothly because you don't have to worry about, did I add that, or do I need to prep this, or you already have all those things already done. Okay? So there we go. Our pan is ready, so I'm going to add some oil to it and then drop the shrimp inside to make sure it's nice and crusted, and we're not going to overcook our shrimp. So it's going to be a minute per side, okay? Again, it's really important not to overcook the shrimp. So we got our garlic and our shallots ready because this is going to happen super quick, okay? So here we go. Put this back on the stove, turn it back on. We're going to add about a tablespoon, all right, to this pan, right? There we go. Tablespoon of oil. We're going to take our shrimp, and what we're going to do is just add that to the pan. All right, turn that up.
Up to what?
I have it on high right now, but I'm going to temper it as I'm cooking it, right? So I'm going to start it with it on high right here. Good. And what I'm going to do is, when I say temper, right, I mean control your heat. So if something is on the fire and you don't want it to burn, what you do is hold it up or take it off the stove and just gently rotate and make sure the oil gets to all of the contents in the skillet, right? This is what you call tempering. This is direct heat. This is indirect heat, okay? Whether you have gas stove or you have, well, what we have right here is these burners, these metal burners, or you have the other one that is basically covered by some type of top portion that you can see the heat. All you have to do is lift it up if it's going too much. So right there, we can start turning over our shrimp. Right, it's starting to get nice little color on there. Right, there we go. Boom. That's how quick that happens. Right, perfect. Right, so this is going to go another minute, and then I'm going to take it off the stove. Right, because we don't want to overcook your shrimp. Right. All right, so I'm going to rinse this plate right here, and by the time I'm done, we'll take the shrimp out, turn the stove down, and then add, there we go. The shrimp is basically done right now. So if you're at home, take your shrimp out of the pan. Go ahead.
Want me to move it?
No, it's okay, I got it. All right, your shrimp is done. Take your shrimp out of the pan, and we're going to get to the rest of the shrimp scampi. So there we go. I'm taking the shrimp out of the pan, right? Because we're going to finish it in the sauce. I'm turning the pan down, right? I turned it really low, so now you have started the flavor of the shrimp scampi already, right? By searing the shrimp. There you go. The shrimp is seared. Look how beautiful that thing is. So we're going to move straight into the next part of it, right? So I added my shallots, and I'm turning this down. This is down. We don't want this to overcook, so I'm taking it off the stove as it's going right now. Good. Right? And what I'm going to do is add some salt, right? I'm going to add some salt, just a little bit, like a pinch of salt, and then a pinch of pepper. Good. Keep that on the stove. There we go.
So what are you doing right now, really?
Right now, I am basically moving the shallots all over the bottom of the pan to make sure it doesn't burn, but it's flavoring the bottom of the pan, okay? Because we're going to take all of that flavoring up with some white wine or white balsamic vinegar or drinking wine with a process called deglazing, okay? So there we go. I'm going to add my garlic to the pan. All right, 4 garlic cloves, nice and chopped. All right, and this is on, the stove is on a little bit past medium right now because we're going to gradually build this sauce. There we go. All right, there we go, there we go, there we go. All right, so there we go. Your garlic is being toasted. We don't want to burn it, right? So we're going to make sure that it is being moved around so it all touches the bottom of the pan, but it doesn't get burnt, right? That's why we're on medium, because this sauce, you have to build this sauce gradually, okay? So there we go. Our garlic and our shallots are, they smell so good. Right? So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to add some onion powder really quick to this pan, and you're going to see, like, because onion powder and garlic powder sort of is like garlic, they burn really quickly. But again, we have this stove on medium right now, so if the pan was high, then you would have some issues as far as burning the garlic and the onion powder. So that's the last thing that I'm adding to this, garlic powder, onion powder, right? Nice and toasted. And now we are going to deglaze. We're going to turn it up on high, turn the pan up on high. Good. And we are ready to deglaze because all that flavor is ready to make some noise, guys. All right, there we go. Yep. Here we go. The pan's on high, right? Pan's on high. There we go. We're going to add the white wine, which is right here. White wine to the pan. And this is going to be about a 1/4 cup of white wine, right? We're going to let the alcohol and everything deglaze and bring up all that goodness from the bottom of the pan. Good, look at that. Let it keep going on high. I'm going to add a little bit more. Good, because we have a lot of pasta. Good, there we go. Let that cook off. Good, and what's going to happen, we're going to get some, we're going to get our chicken stock, right? We're going to get our chicken stock, and we're going to get some lemons, right? Again, we're going to roll our lemons. Roll the lemon, right? Because we need some lemon juice to be a part of this too, right? And about right now is when I'm going to almost, there we go. We got to let this reduce to cook most of the alcohol out of this, right? Here we go. Ah, that smells so good. Okay, so most of this white wine has been reduced from the pan. What you're going to do right now, right, is hit that with some chicken stock. Okay, we're going to do about a cup. Bring that thing back down to a cup. There we go. All right, there we go. Almost a cup. Right, we're going to keep it on hot. Let that continue to cook. And what we're going to do is add some lemon juice as well to this pan. Good. I'm going to add some lemon juice. You want to hold your hand over the pan and squeeze the lemon juice, fresh lemons, to make sure your hand acts as a strainer between you and the pan, right? We don't need more than like a tablespoon of lemon juice, right? Because we're going to squeeze lemon on the finished product. So there we go. Right now I'm going to add my pasta to my pot, right, really quick. Because again, it takes about 2 minutes, and this is going to be basically done in about 4 to 5 minutes, this sauce. So what I'm going to do is put my pasta in the pan. There you go. Pasta goes in the pan. Here we go. Put the other one in as well.
What about the people who already had pasta in?
I told them already to make sure you put your pasta in while, while.
Done?
Yeah, it should be done right now, so you can remove, check the doneness of your pasta.
If you have the box pasta.
If you have the box pasta, right? So there we go. Our sauce is, I'm going to turn this stove up so our pasta can start cooking. And what I'm going to do is also take my tongue and gently circle the pasta around to make sure it's all separated. Good. There we go. And it'll start boiling in a little bit, and it will be done really soon. So here we go. We have, this is our Scampi sauce that's going right now. Looks good, right? What I'm going to do right now is to get my flat leaf parsley. I'm going to get my flat leaf parsley, which is right here. Rinse it a little bit, right? Rinse it a little bit. And what I'm going to do is get a nice handful, right? Rip a nice handful off, put it on my cutting board, and do what I've been doing this whole time. Chop it up. Give it a nice little rough chop. All right, we're going to turn this sauce down because it's starting to look a little, it's getting ready. There we go. Ooh, what did I forget? I forgot something, y'all. Y'all didn't tell me? It's okay. We can add it right now. Those cherry tomatoes, right? Those cherry tomatoes need to go in your sauce. We should have started them by searing them into the, when we were searing up the shallots and the garlic, but you can do them right now. Right? You put them in, split them in half. It's okay, right? They're just going to add some sweetness and acidity to. You're basically going to split them in half, right? And put them in the pan. All right? The pasta is basically done. So I'm going to throw it in the colander right now, right after I'm done with these cherry tomatoes. They also add some beautiful color to your situation, right? As you can see, it's already looking like yummy, right? Put it in the sauce, and that sauce is basically done, all right, right there. I'm going to add the last thing, which is butter. Turn this off. I just turned off my pasta. Right? They are done. My pasta is done, and I'm going to continue to put some cherry tomatoes in the sauce before I hit it with some cold butter. Okay? There we go. Pasta is done. There we go. Perfect. Right? So there we go. Our second dish is almost done. Let me get the colander, Susie. Excuse you. Thank you. All right. Colander. Take this thing right here, and I'm going to put it in the colander. Pasta is done. Here we go. Right, I'm going to save a little bit of the water, take it and put it right back in there. Good. And the last part of this thing is getting some nice cold butter from the refrigerator. And this is where the sauce becomes a sauce, right? Here we go. Here we go. Put this right in the middle, right? And I'm going to use my spatula. This is like a tablespoon of butter right now. All right, we're going to put some more butter in this thing. We're going to need about 3 tablespoons. We're going to do it a little bit at a time, okay? So there we go. The sauce is almost done, right? We're going to push that around in the bottom of the pan. Good. Gradually build this sauce. All right, put some more. Here we go. Gradually push that around. Good. That was the second tablespoon.
So is this still reducing then?
Yeah, still reducing. I have this on a little bit past medium, and it's still basically doing its thing, right? And I'm going to put the last tablespoon of butter in there. So you need about 3 tablespoons of butter, right? There we go. This is the last one. You can turn up the stove a little bit on high, like just continue to go back and forth with the heat to make sure the butter is melting into your sauce. There we go. We're gonna do another tablespoon because
another one.
Yep, another tablespoon because we need this to thicken up just a little bit. It's there right now, but we want it to thicken up just a little bit more, or like a little bit less than a tablespoon. Here we go. Turn that down. Turn it down again, and that should do it. Ooh, that smells good. Here we go. That's the last part of it. Good. And what I'm going to do is add me some parsley into that. And then I'm going to get my pasta and my shrimp, and I'm going to toss it into this thing right here, right? Here's my pasta. It's nice and hot. I want to just toss it in. There we go. Right? And I'm just going to fold my pasta into this sauce. At this point, I'm going to turn my pan off and fold, excuse me, Suze, for a second. And I'm going to introduce my shrimp back to the pan, just like that. Good. Boom. Look how beautiful that thing is. All right, we're just going to fold your pasta into the sauce along with the shrimp. The stove is off, basically, and all you're doing is coating your pasta into the sauce while incorporating the shrimp as well. Good. There you go. Basically, and I'm using my silicone spatula to get this all the way worked in. Right? And you've got your shrimp, you have got your, basically, your pasta, your red cherry tomatoes, and look how beautiful that thing is, right? And we're just going to finish it with some, lemon juice, again, all the way over it. Some lemon juice. There we go, a little bit of lemon juice. There we go. And our final topping, some nice flat leaf parsley. Boom. That is your shrimp scampi right there. Okay? Enjoy. That's your shrimp scampi. We are done with the shrimp scampi portion of this. Susie, can you give me a time check?
It is, what time is that? 3:30.
3:30? Oh, wow. We were supposed to go to 3:45. It's going to be a little longer because of the cool situation. We had to work through that. Yeah.
No, maybe it's going to be longer.
All right. So that is your shrimp scampi. All done. Shrimp scampi is done. The rest is we are going to work on our Jamaican Brown Stew Chicken. Okay? And I didn't even get a chance to basically give you guys a taste session of that beautiful shrimp scampi we just made. But it's all good. You're going to taste it at home. All right, I'll taste it. I'll taste it. I'll plate it and taste it. All right, here we go. I do need some paper towel. Can you get it from the laundry room for me? Good, right? So, here we go. We're going to put the butter back in the refrigerator because we are done with it. That's our shrimp scampi. Get things out the way that we don't need right now. Thank you. All right, so the moment you guys have been waiting for is here. The moment you guys have been waiting for is here. Let me get my paper towel ready.
Any questions from me?
Any questions? Any questions? Any questions?
Oh, I just had to scroll a little bit. Cheryl just said the shrimp scampi looks amazing.
Thank you.
I agree, Cheryl.
Thank you.
I'm hungry.
Thank you. All right, so we're going to move everything out the way that we don't need because we're basically done with our shrimp scampi and our chicken quesadilla. Right?
And Alexis just said yum, and Jackie said so good. Is anyone cooking along?
I know. Is anyone cooking along with me? Especially Amber. I know Amber was like, I'm going to make another one. So, yeah, with the quesadilla. So, all right, we're going to put this over here for right now. Get things out the way that we don't need. Clean our cutting board. And get ready for this next part of the lesson. All right? Not going to try to keep you here for too long. We made 2 amazing dishes so far. Now it's time to make the last one. As I'm going into like chef mode right now because the time, right? So, here we go.
Wendy said take your time.
Oh, take my time? Okay. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
I gotta taste the scampi though.
Yes, I'm going to, but got to get things ready so we can just go from tasting right into it, right? Right, Susie?
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, we got to, I'm going to put this, the left.
Amber says I'm definitely cooking along.
Yes.
All right, girl.
Did you get the scampi? Have you done the scampi, Amber? Let me know if you've done the scampi.
Maria said scampi is amazing. My taste tester for both dishes.
Yes.
And Jackie also said take your time.
Oh, okay, good. All right, here we go. We have, again, it's only me. I'm the dishwasher, the chef, and everything right now. So,
I'm here.
and Susie's handling the audio and the visuals and the questions. All right? So, Susie's like, I'm doing something.
Amber said I use chicken instead of shrimp and it tastes fantastic.
All right, awesome. Awesome. There we go. That's all you need is some little tips to do your thing. Susie's trying to eat her some quesadillas right now. You can go ahead, Suze. Go ahead and eat some quesadillas. You're working hard. All right, so there we go. We have our chicken quesadilla that's done.
Oh my god.
It's amazing, right, Suze? Is that your first taste of it?
Yes.
Oh.
You've just been taunting me.
Yeah, my bad.
Oh my god, with the guacamole. Oh my god. Guys, make it. Make it.
Thank you.
And thanking you for this class.
Yes. All right. So, Susie wants us to taste the shrimp scampi. So we got to get into that, right? So we're going to take our big tongs, right? And what we're going to do is lift this pasta out of the pan. Look at that thing. That's whew, nice and saucy, nice and beautiful. And what we're going to do is basically hold this and circle it around like that. Good. And what we're going to do is put it on the plate, release it. Good, just like that. And take you a couple pieces of shrimp, put it all over this thing. Here we go. Basically, that is your shrimp scampi right there. Good. So that is your shrimp scampi. Take a look, take a taste if you want to. Let me get a fork really quick. You want to take a photo of this, Suze?
Yeah, I can do that.
All right, here we go. Before I eat it, because I am ready to eat and ready to move on to the next thing.
Friends.
Hello.
Hi, friends.
There you go, Suze. Susie's doing the honors of taking photos. You can take a photo of this as well over here. Did you take a photo of the quesadilla?
Sir, no, I didn't.
Okay.
I was worrying about,
Other things, yeah.
cameras.
Okay, there you go. Take a photo of that. While Susie's taking a photo of that, I'm going to taste the shrimp scampi. Here we go. We have my fork in my hand. Again, I'm going to chew in your ear, and I know I don't like hearing chewing, so you want to get a fork and taste it too, Susie?
I mean.
Yeah, come on,
Yes.
Go ahead. So here we go, shrimp scampi. First test. Put it in the mouth. Use that one there.
Can I go? Okay. Go.
That's so good.
Sorry, guys.
Ah,
I hope you're also making this.
this is delicious. You gotta get shrimp too, Susie?
It's too much food for one mouth.
Okay, go ahead.
Wow. Okay. First thing I noticed was it was very buttery, but like in a really good way.
That's the
Second
sauce.
thing I got was the salt, which was very nice, not too much, and then I got the zip. The layers.
The acid. I'm gonna eat another piece,
All right.
and then we gonna get started.
We gotta actually do this, yeah. I love shrimp. Not overcooked. Definitely not overcooked.
Perfectly cooked. Perfectly cooked. All right,
That's delicious. All right, guys.
we gonna move forward. 3 lessons in 1. Who said to do this today? Y'all did.
And Rishone, just do a little tap tap.
Huh? Close it? Okay. There we go. All right. Shrimp scampi is done. We're going to put that to the side. We're going to eat that later. I'm going to eat another bite, though.
And this thing is also getting hot again.
All right. Here we go. This is our last part of today. Good? We are going to make our Jamaican Brown Stew Chicken. So let's get everything in order. And Susie, you can have the last of that, the pasta right there.
Thank you.
Okay? So, we're going to make the last of this. Let's get this thing going, right? The camera's right there. We're just going to do some prepping. We're going to move this out of the way so we can really start cooking, right? We have like a platter situation over here happening that you can definitely see. That's where our buffet section is, right? So, our buffet section, you know. All right, so let's get started on this Jamaican Brown Stew Chicken real quick. And I'm just cleaning while I'm going so that after this, I only have a little bit to clean. All right, because I'm reusing everything that we're doing right now. I was crazy to think that we were going to get this done in an hour and 45 minutes.
Wendy said, oh my gosh, Scampi is so good.
Yes. Wendy's at home making it too? Let's go, Wendy.
Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to figure out how to do it.
Eat, and,
No, not eat. Just
put that down. All right, you can put it behind you. Okay. All right, here we go. We are going to use our skillet, which is right here that has a cover, right? We're going to use a cover, right? Because this is where we're going to braise and create that stew for your chicken, right? So we are ready to start this chicken process. All right, and I have cleaned everything to get ready for this, right? So we're going to do this, we're going to try to do this as quick as we can. So here we go, right? Here we go. All right, now it's time for our Jamaican Brown Stew Chicken, okay? This is what you guys came for, right? So, just in case you guys didn't basically get to prepping your chicken, this is what the chicken looks like. Good. Bring it down. Good. This is what the chicken looks like. This is one that's not prepped, right? So I'm going to get digging into my dirty dishes right now, trying to find things. This is real life cooking. This is not edited. There's not. Yeah, this is for real. Okay? So, here we go. We have our chicken right here, and what you want to do is take the skin off, right? You want to use your paring knife, take the skin off. Good.
Amber says, bring on that Jamaican chicken.
Yes, let's go, right? So, I take the skin off. Some people do it with the skin, but I don't like mine with the skin. Again, I'm a picky eater, so I got to make sure I'm cooking things the way I want to eat it, right? So, all right, so what I'm going to do is take the skin off, and then I'm going to trim the fat off of the chicken thigh. And I saved one just so you guys can see what's happening or how I clean this. I cut this little fat part off right here. Good. I just cut that off because I hate biting into that. And I like to eat. I don't like to worry about taking things out of my mouth when I'm eating. I like to enjoy the entire process. So this back piece right here, what I'm going to do is basically trim the fat off of it. Like go into all those little pockets of the chicken and get the fat out of it. You're going to render some of this fat off when you sear it, but in order to make sure that they don't stay around because they are in pockets, right? And the finished product doesn't include you biting into some mushy stuff, I want to make sure I clean all of this stuff off. Okay, there we go. And then there's this pocket right here that I'm going to go into with my knife. Right? Go into it with my knife, and that's what is going to basically take out all that fat that was in there, right? Fat and connective tissue. There we go. All right, there we go. This is nice and clean, and I did this on the bone. If you don't have it on the bone at home, that's also okay. But know that when you cook stews, or soups at home, try to use the bone because it adds flavor to the pan. Okay, there we go. Take off all the little connective tissue that's on top, and there we go. Good. All right, there we go. The pasta is done. Now it's the Jamaican Brown Stew Chicken, right? So there we go. What I'm going to do is I have my chicken here. I'm going to turn on the cold water, right? I'm going to turn on the cold water. It's probably because that hot thing is right there. You probably got to move that out of the way. Okay, so I'm going to turn on some cold water, and I'm going to get some white distilled vinegar, right? And this is a Jamaican thing, right? Well, they should do it in America too, but, right? Here we go. We're going to rinse this chicken, and there's 2 chicken breasts, and also 2 chicken breasts, and the 3 chicken thighs that I said we talked about, right? So there we go. On the bone. Perfect, right? What I'm going to do also is I am going to cut these chicken breasts into a half. So I have 2 halves of the chicken breasts. Let that water out. There we go. And we are basically done with prepping this chicken. I'm going to rinse it again. And then I'm going to wash my hands. Right? Notice I'm doing everything with the chicken first so you guys can see it. And I'm draining it out of my little bowl right here that I have. Right? And I know Amber went to Jamaica, like, I think it was last year. Was it last year you went to Jamaica, Amber? And you had a whole bunch of Jamaican food. So we're going to try to recreate that experience today, Amber.
Earlier she said, yeah, man.
All right, so we have our bowl of chicken right here, drained, rinsed, and ready to go, right? All the fat has been trimmed. We are ready to go with our chicken, right? So we're going to put that to the side, and I'm going to rinse my hands. I'll wash my hands with some water. Yeah, we're going to wash you got to wash my hands with some water. Good. And we are going to start this process of seasoning. I think I'm going to need a bigger bowl. So I'm going to get a bigger bowl from down in my Lazy Susan area.
Why is it called Lazy Susan?
Cause it's lazy. Cause instead of reaching, basically you just rotate it towards you, I guess.
Right, but why Susan?
Because probably somebody whose name is Susan created it. I don't know. I'm just saying that. So hopefully that's right. Okay, so there we go. We have our bowl, right? I'm going to drain the rest of our chicken, put this chicken in the bowl, right? I have a nice big bowl right now, right? And what I'm going to do is put everything that's going into the chicken into this bowl, right? I've got the carrots, right? Right? There we go, right? And I'm going to prep the other carrot, right, which is right here. This is the other carrot, right? What I'm going to do, bring this board over here, really quick, cut, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel this first by going away from me, like, so I'm scraping the skin off instead of peeling it, right? So I'm going to show you, you're going to see how to do this, how I do this, right? So I take whatever it is, if you're chef knife or paring knife or a cleaver, what I'm going to do is go to the middle and go away from me and take basically the outer layer, the outer skin off of the carrot, right? Turn it around and do the same thing until there's no skin to peel on the carrot instead of peeling it. And this takes it's much quicker to me. This is much quicker. Clean your knife, put the garbage to the side. Here we go. Rinse that really quick, and then we're just going to chop it into nice 1.5 inch pieces right there, right, and put it into your chicken, right? Also, here we go. We're going to prep our chayote squash, right? What I'm going to do is cut it down the middle, right? And there's this core down the middle here, good, that we're going to just use another knife that's much more easy to handle, and what we're going to do is just cut that core out by sticking the knife and bringing it around, because this core does not cook, right? Here we go. Take the core out, perfect, right? And we're going to do that with both of them, or both halves, because the core is one circle and it goes to the others, right? So here we go. We're going to peel the outside of the squash with the knife, good, like that. All right, go ahead and peel yours at home while I peel mine. And we're going to be moving right now. The most part of this brown stew chicken is basically the preparation again, right? So if you spent time prepping at home, I just wanted to show you guys how to properly prep a chayote squash to use it in this recipe, right? I'm going to use one of these chayote squash and also use 1 potato. Good, because I like that potato flavor, and it also helps to thicken your sauce a little bit. But if you don't have a potato, that's totally fine as well, right? What I'm going to do is cut this into some chunks, right? So it cooks the same time as your carrots, okay? So there we go. So they're like a medium dice. There we go. So this is like a medium dice, and this is perfect. This is why Big Mike is so perfect that you can hold things on it and show, right? So it's like a medium dice. There it is, right? I'm going to save the potatoes for last, because once you cut into a potato and you start doing your things, you got to soak it in water, and it so it doesn't turn brown. So we're going to save that for the last thing that we put into this stew. I'm actually going to put some more. I'm going to put some more of this chayote squash in there, or chocho. Right?
Amber said, "What a neat trick," and I'm assuming she was talking about the peeling the carrots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. That's how I peel my carrots all the time, right? Unless I'm roasting them and I'm keeping the skin on intact, right? Because you can also eat a carrot just the way it is, and you can also include. You can basically cook your carrot as a part of this dish. You can leave the skin on, but again, me being a picky eater, I like my stews to be smooth, okay? So I want to make sure when I bite into it, I don't feel like, because when you cook carrots to the point where it's at a stew, soft, tender, the skin tends to want to come off automatically. Like it comes off, and then you have this kind of like shedding situation, and I don't like that. So I kind of scrape my carrots to clean it up, and then I do what I need to do to chop it up and cook it, okay? So there we go. We have our chayote squash and our carrots into our stew. What we're gonna do is start adding the rest of the stuff, the seasonings after this, right? Again, I'm saving my potato for last, because potatoes cook very quickly, especially if we cut them up into some nice little chunks, right? Again, medium cut on these real quick. All right, there we go. This one, Susie, is definitely going to get hot, okay? So if you're going to do like a close-up, make sure you do like real quick and then away, okay?
It's showing that it's hot right now.
Okay. Yeah, the kitchen is hot. The kitchen is hot right now, all right? So I'm going to take about 4 cloves of garlic, same thing, all right? 4 cloves of garlic, and we are prepping everything so we don't need to go back and prep stuff, right? And I have my little piece of ginger right here, fresh ginger, right? And what I'm going to do is, right, same thing I did before. I'm just going to smash my garlic really quick, right? There we go. Smash my garlic. There we go, there we go, there we go. And peel it just like that. And then I'm going to chop it up into a mince. I'm going to mince up these garlic cloves really quick. There we go. All right, here we go. Let's get this ginger. All right, and what that is, it's a nice piece of ginger. I'm going to peel, and you can use a spoon to scrape your skin off, but I don't want that much ginger, so I can be very generous with peeling the skin off, because I just need a small little piece like that much. Okay, so there we go. Our ginger's right there. Good. And the last thing that we need is our onion, and we're going to take the half an onion that we cut and left over earlier, and we are going to dice these into like a big size, again, a medium dice. Good. So what we're going to do is cut this across 2, 3, 4, and then there you go. That's it. Throw that in there. Good. Throw that in the bowl. We lost a garlic. That's okay. Tree is just fine. We're going to hit that. and also do that with the ginger. Good. There we are. There's everything. We've got everything, and we're just going to chop it up really quick. All right. There we go. And that's the garlic. The garlic is done. Garlic and ginger I chopped together. And we are ready to do this thing, right? All we have to add now is the dry seasoning and thyme, which our thyme is right here. And we are going to work on that one thing that you guys couldn't find at the grocery store earlier, right? We're going to throw these onions that's left over from the quesadilla there too. So here's the one thing that we could not find at the grocery store, which is the allspice. Okay, the allspice. Right. What I'm going to do is boom, 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 boom. All right. So back up just a little bit, Susie. Okay. Thank you. What we're going to do is get some saran wrap. We're going to get some saran wrap, tear a little piece off. Good. And what we're going to do is get these. The reason why I don't use already grounded allspice is that you lose some of the potency that you get from cracking into a dried allspice berry. Okay? So what I do is I get a nice piece of saran wrap, and then I put a little bit, a little bit of I would say about 15 pieces of dried allspice berries, and I fold this over, and what I do is I take my tenderizer and I beat it. I pound it until it turns into workable dust. Okay? We don't want really big chunks, right? Right, there we go. And then I get my pestle and mortar. You can actually go ahead and beat it or pound it until it turns into dust for you. But I take my pestle and mortar, gifted to me by Tori, Victoria. Thank you, Tori. Right? And what I'm going to do is pour that all out in there. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to work it until it turns into a powder. Right? Work on the forearm strength, right? There we go. Nice. Right? So this is the only thing keeping us from basically starting this process. So what I'm going to do at this point, I'm going to turn the stove on, and I'm going to put it a little bit past medium to gradually heat up that pan, right? Gradually heat up my skillet as I work on grinding this allspice real quick. All right, there we go. Your allspice is basically done. And if you have ground allspice, you can use it too. I just like the fresh berry, that it just gives it this awesome aroma, right? The potency is just always there once you do the fresh dried allspice berries, right? So what I'm going to do, this is about a teaspoon or 2 teaspoons of the allspice berries, right? They're a part of that. I'm going to get some salt, and this is going to be about a tablespoon and a half of salt, right? Because we're seasoning not only the chicken, we're also seasoning the vegetables, right? Because they're going to sear too as well. I'm going to go in with some chili powder. I'm going to put like a tablespoon and a half of chili powder, right? I'm going to go in with some garlic powder or onion powder. Put a tablespoon and a half of that. Good. And I'm going with some garlic powder. Tablespoon and a half of that. And then I'm going to go in with some dried parsley flakes. Same thing. About a tablespoon. We're creating this amazing thing right now, right? What else? Ooh, you know, one thing I forgot the plum tomatoes. So if you got the plum tomatoes at home, go ahead and cut them up too and put them in the pan. What I'm going to do is take those cherry tomatoes that I have and use them as my tomatoes in this dish, okay? So, there we go. We're using the thyme sprigs and we are pulling them back. Good. All right, making sure we have our herbs that are part of this too. Good. Right, perfect. Nice. I'm doing like about 12 sprigs of thyme, right? I'm making this a part of this dish right now, right? So there we go. Our thyme is in there. What we're going to do is take some olive oil and we're going to put it all over just a little bit, like a tablespoon of olive oil. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix this up. And you've got this beautiful, colorful thing right now, right? Of your chicken and all your vegetables, everything. And you already have that smell of like, the beginning of your brown stew chicken, right? So there we go. I'm going to do one last thing. Good, I'm washing my hands. One last thing is add a little bit of the browning that I told you guys to get, right? We're going to add a little bit of the browning, just a touch of it, right? Just a touch, just to get some color on that already. Just a touch, like a teaspoon of browning, right? I'm going to add a teaspoon of browning and then mix that up. Just a teaspoon, right? We're going to add some more later. We're going to add like another teaspoon later, but to give it the browning flavor, right? We want to add it to our seasoning. So there we go. That gives it the color and that add some additional caramel flavor to it, okay? All right, so there we go. Our chicken is ready to be seared, right? Because what we're going to do is sear it first and then deglaze and braise it, okay? For another like 25 to 30 minutes, right? So our pan is nice and warm, nice and hot. I'm going to hit it with some oil over here. And Susie, if the camera goes out, so here we go. We have some oil in there. I put about 2 tablespoons of oil. Good. I'm going to put this over here because it's really, really hot right now. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to shake all the excess stuff off of the chicken and put it in the pan. Good. Right, your house is going to smell amazing right now. I just want to let you know, you better open up the windows or something because all this flavor, if it stays in your house, you're going to smell like it the whole night. You're going to be like, you're going to remember that you cooked this today, okay? It's going to remind you, right? So there we go. We're going to sear this for a little bit. All right, so we have our chicken. We're going to put that on the stove, and then you just have to sear it, leave the vegetables out, and we're going to get some color. We're just searing it to lock the flavor into the chicken, right? We are searing the chicken to make sure all the flavors are locked in before we add the vegetables. We're actually going to remove the chicken from the pan to also do the same thing with the vegetables so all the flavors get locked in and you're building that layer from bottom up in the skillet. So when you create this sauce, it's incredible, right? So this is the vegetables we're going to use later, okay? So let's put that to the side. All right, and we're just going to let that sear for a little bit, right? When we put the vegetables in the pan, that's when I'll put the cherry tomatoes in the pan, okay? And I'm like cleaning up, like my OCD wants to like clean everything right now, but I have to like say no.
Say no.
I have to say no, okay? Any questions while we're searing? Because the searing process is going to take about 5 to 7 minutes per side. before we deglaze and then finish up with adding our chicken stock and all the other seasonings. Okay? So there we go. Right? This is, my stove is on about 8. Right? I'm getting a nice sear. I'm going to turn the fan on. Right?
Amber said, this smells amazing already.
Yes, it's going to be amazing. It is going to be fantastic. As there's like food on the bottom of my feet. I have to make sure I wash my hand again. Here we go. Good, good. So your chicken is searing right now. It smells amazing. If you are cooking at home, trust me, this smell is incredible. The combination of all the aromatics and the dry seasonings are making the bottom of your pan, like the aroma is just like making everything amazing. Yes.
You in the bottom of your teeth.
Food?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Y'all could have told me I had something in like
I
food.
didn't see it till now.
I'm talking about them. Y'all could have told me I had parsley in the bottom of my
Also, as this gets louder, you don't need to speak louder.
Yeah. Okay. All right, got it. All right. So here we go. Our chicken is searing. And Susie's like, yo, you too loud. Calm down.
You're very excited, and the mic is very sensitive.
Okay.
Amber asked, can you use a spice grinder if you don't have a mortar and pestle?
Yes, you can. Yes. That's definitely okay. Right? And if your allspice is taking longer to grind than normal, just keep grinding it. You could actually put it in after you start searing and everything. Okay? You can put it in with the vegetables as long as it gets toasted along with everything else. Okay? All right, so there we go. Our chicken is getting that nice sear. Right? We're going to flip them. All right, Susie, bring it over here so they can see. And if it goes out because it's hot, it's okay. Okay, we're going to just switch. So we're switching the chicken over. You get that nice sear going on. Look at that. That's your brown stew chicken in process, y'all. Okay. All right, we just flipped it. That's the first flip. We're going to keep it cooking for another 5 to 7 minutes, and then we're going to switch it out by getting a plate and putting it on a plate, and then doing the same thing with the vegetables to create that second layer of flavor. You start with the protein for the first layer of flavor to create that crust on the chicken, as well as creating that fond in the bottom of the pan, which is like a French word for all the leftover bits that you've created from the sear and the vegetables and the chicken and the season and everything, okay? So, here we go. This thing is looking good. Getting a nice sear on that. If you have any questions, go ahead. Hit me with some questions, y'all. Because I'm going to also prep these tomatoes that are right here and also do that scared me a little bit. And also do the potato to make sure we are ready to go with the potato when it's time. All right, so if you have any questions, shoot, let me know. Or if I have anything on my face, please tell me. Be my friend for real. No pretending, y'all. Okay, so what I'm going to do is peel my potato and put it in some water to make sure it doesn't go brown. All right, so peel your potato about now. Peel your potato. I think they know how to peel a potato, Susie. Yeah, I'm right here. Right? We're peeling the potato, and we're going to cut it up in the same chunk size as we did for the chayote squash. Right? But what we're going to do is put it in some water so it doesn't turn brown. Right? We're going to put it in some water, and I'm going to wash my bowl really quick. The small bowl right here, and make sure we fill this with some water real quick, and then put the potatoes inside. Here we go. Right? So, get all that soapy water off of this thing. And what we're going to do, starting to smell this stew. Starting to smell real good over here. Real good. Yeah, extremely good. Nice, right? So there we go. I'm going to cut up this potato real quick using my chef knife. Here we go. Super simple. Nothing crazy. Here we go. Oh, that's smelling good. I can smell that it's almost done. Right? I can smell that it's almost done. So here we go. We are going to put some water into these potatoes to make sure they don't go brown. So there we go. There's some thyme floating around in there, so that's nothing crazy. Right? Here we go. Potatoes are there. Right? I'm going to get my tongue really quick. We're going to go in and take these pieces of chicken out, or flip them one more time before we take them out. All right, put them one more time. Here we go. They look awesome. All right, there we go. Right, and look at the crust at the bottom of the pan. That's totally fine. Actually, we're going to take this out right now. Right? We're going to take this out and put it over here, right, and let that continue to cook. It's not cooked all the way yet, so don't go eating it, okay? I know it smells good, but fight the urge. Fight the power. All right, we're going to go ahead and dump our vegetables into this pan. Don't throw out that stuff that's in the bowl, because we're going to use it. We're using everything. Right, and we're just going to shake this from side to side, turn it down to a little past medium. Shake it up. We're going to get that toasted as well. Add just a touch of olive oil, just a touch, to get some moisture on the bottom of that pan. Good. And we're just going to sear up this vegetable nice and slow. Good. And what we're going to do is also add the tomatoes to the pan, so they can basically create more water at the bottom of the pan to help get all that stuff off of the bottom of the pan. Because all that flavor we created at the bottom of the pan, we need that for this stew. Okay? So there we go. I'm cutting up the tomatoes to add to this pan real quick. And we're almost done, guys. Well, this has to cook, but you know what I mean. We're done with all two of the three, and we're on to the last one right now. 2 of the 3 dishes, we are on to the last dish right now. There we go. So if you had your 2 plum tomatoes, all you have to do is cut them up and put them in the pan, okay? They're going to create this liquid that starts the stew process, and then we're going to deglaze and re-add our chicken to the pan, and also add some chicken stock and all the flavorings that we need to make this amazing, okay?
Wendy asked, did we put the ginger and garlic into the veggie and chicken mix?
Yes, we did.
Yes.
Yes, we did.
That is definitely a beginning flavor.
Yeah, that's part of it. That was part of the process. So yes, we did. We put the ginger and the garlic into the whole stew situation. The only thing that we left out was the potatoes and the tomatoes. Right? So potatoes and tomatoes were left out. Everything else, garlic, ginger, thyme, all the powdered seasoning, garlic powder, onion powder, chili powder, all that stuff is in this right here. And what we're going to do is just go around. Here we go. As these tomatoes start to cook down, all that flavor, look at the bottom. See, it's starting to clear. The fond, all the thing at the bottom of the pan is starting to clear and get onto the vegetables. And it's creating this amazing caramelization. All right? As all the vegetables are releasing the water, it's collecting all the things from the bottom of the pan, and your stew has begun. Okay? So there you go. That's perfect. All right. All right, we're going to add the chicken to this. We're going to turn it up a little bit and add the chicken to this so we can get started.
Can you just double check, ask them how the audio is right now?
All right, hey guys, let us know how the audio is going because Susie's concerned a little bit. Just want to make sure you're still hearing me and everything is good. All right, so give me a yes or a no or a thumbs up that the audio is good. Everything sounds good. Nothing sounds scratchy.
Loud enough so it's able to understand you.
Yeah, and everything is loud enough so you guys can understand what's going on or hear me, basically, right? So, there we go. This is nice and ready. All right, I'm going to put the chicken back in the pan, okay? So, we're going to take all the chicken plus the juices, and I'm just going to put it back in the pan. Surround that bad boy. There we go. Look at that, already looking good, right? At this point, I am going to turn up the stove, right? I'm going to put it on high, good. And I'm going to put everything in there. Oh, Suze. Here we go. All right, so after turning that up, all right, I'm going to let that start to steam a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this pan or the bowl that I use, and I'm going to take all the seasoning. All right, I'm going to take the chicken stock, and I'm just going to wash the sides down so I have all the seasonings that I need, because I used all the seasonings already. We don't need to season again. We are all set. This is going to be like a cup and a half of chicken stock, right? So we have a cup and a half of chicken stock, and we have our chicken going right now, right? Here we go. There we go. Brown stew chicken is almost here, guys. Looking good. Looking good.
Looks great.
Yes. Right? So there we go. The brown stew chicken. All right. What we're going to do is we're just going to put our chicken stock in. Right? This is like a cup and a half. And we might have to put some more later. It takes about 2 cups to cook everything. But there we go. And my pan is a little bit smaller than normal. Right? So here we go.
You lost some weight.
Yeah. So there we go. The brown stew chicken is in the braising portion of getting completed, right? So there we go. We have our chicken in the pan. We have our sauce getting ready to reduce. What we need to do next is we need to add some additional flavor to your pan, right? So what I'm going to do is take my browning, right? And what I'm going to do is add a little bit of that, another teaspoon to your pan, okay? Another teaspoon of the browning, right? And continue to stir this around, right? There we go. There goes the brown look that you need. Is going to be about this color. Perfect, right? So there we go. Your brown stew is almost ready. We're going to cook that down for a little bit, right? We're going to make sure that reduces, and if we need to add some more chicken stock, we do. But right now also what I'm going to add is some apple cider, which adds some depth and sweetness to your brown stew chicken. So I'm going to add about a 1/4 cup. There we go. 1/4 cup of apple cider. Put that back in the refrigerator. Good. And this is looking incredible right now, right? We're going to let that cook down so we can cook the carrots. And in about, I would say about 5 or 10 minutes, we're going to cover this up just like that. Put this in the sink. Right? And we are ready to clean, right? Right now, we're going to let this reduce for another, one last thing though. All right, we're going to put some more time into this to make sure we have some additional flavor, right? Some additional herbs to brighten those flavors, right? So here we go. We have some thyme. I have about 5 or 6 sprigs in my hand, or now we have only 5. All right, so we're going to drop that in there, right, and let that cook, right? If we had some Scotch bonnet pepper, we would just put that in there right now without chopping them up to make sure it has the flavor of the Scotch bonnet, but I'm keeping it not spicy today.
Is there a substitution for the browning Maria wants to know?
Who wants to know?
Maria.
If you don't have the browning, it's okay. You will just, the color of it won't be as like gravy color, right?
Is there a substitute?
There's no substitute other than you have to create it by basically browning some like molasses or brown sugar.
Okay. Also, Cheryl, why haven't the potatoes been added yet?
Because potatoes cook and they cook very quickly, and if they cook for more than like 20 minutes, especially when you chop them up like that, they will disintegrate, right? And they will basically it'll just be mushy, okay? You can still add them, but I want them to still be intact. I want them to be cooked, but not overcooked, okay? So we're gonna wait for a little bit to put the potatoes in, okay? And also the potatoes, the starch from the potatoes acts as a thickener for your sauce as well, right? So we want everything to cook first before we put the potatoes in. So we're gonna wait again about 5 or 10 minutes before we add the potatoes. So right now I'm actually going to do some cleaning. So your brown stew chicken is cooking. I'm just gonna do some cleaning right now until everything's done.
About anything.
Yeah, and if you have questions, definitely hit me with questions. Also, if you guys didn't know, we're almost done with this entire lesson. If you have not subscribed to this channel yet, okay, definitely do that, because I'm thinking of doing at least one of these every 2 months, right? And in order to be notified, definitely be on my notification. Click that notification bell so you guys can know when things are going to be happening or when I'm dropping a video, because I've been dropping videos since January, the beginning of the year, of multiple things that you need to know when you're in the kitchen to make things a little bit more manageable and to make things a little bit more, less overwhelming. Okay? Susie's gonna add something. I don't know what she wants to add.
Oh, I don't know if I'm in frame, but if you are not the one who does the cooking in the house and you want to just give like a little
nudge,
gentle message, send the person who does the cooking in the house, send them Rishone's channel. Yeah, Plated Soul channel. So it's on YouTube again. So it's right here. Share with whoever does the cooking.
Yes.
That's what I'm gonna say.
Yes. So as I'm washing the dishes to make sure my cleanup after this is not crazy, again, hit me with your questions and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done that. As yours is cooking at home, right?
Jackie said yes. More cooking lessons, please.
Yes. So.
Alexis said definitely do more, and Amber said I can't tell you how good my house smells right now.
I told you.
Yeah.
Like it's incredible. Like the combination of aromatics and seasonings that we use for this is incredible. We're saving the ketchup for last because that adds the final ingredient and the finished ingredients for the sauce. Okay? So as that thing is bubbling and cooking, that's the only thing that we have left to add is the potatoes and the ketchup. Okay, and that's going to create our stew for our brown stew chicken. It's going to finish the stew. All right, so I'm actually dropping another video on, I would say, Monday morning.
What's today, Sunday?
Today's Sunday. So Monday morning or Monday at noon, I'm gonna drop a video for vegetarians. All right. I said vegetarians and vegans, right? So you guys have something to watch. The video is a little long because it's almost like 5 different ways to make cauliflower wings. All right, but it's worth the 40 minutes of watching. Good? Because I give away a lot of tips that can help vegans and vegetarian continue to create dishes that are delicious and not have to worry about like substituting flavor. You know what I'm saying? Susie's over here dancing and eating the food while I'm over here like, I want something to eat too. But yes, we have our brown stew chicken that's cooking right now, and it's going to be completed in about, I would say 15 minutes. Okay? So 15 minutes is left.
Cheryl said, just subscribe, really enjoying this.
Yes. Yes. Right? And as you can see, I've already dropped like 6 videos. So those are videos that include, I'm going to try to go through all of them. The first one was how to sear a chicken breast to make sure it's super tender, super juicy, super flavorful, right? The second one, I think, was what knives you need for your home, right? 5 knives you need for your home, or was it the pans? I think it was, yeah, so, yeah, I did one about knives, just to, I think I did about 5 knives that you need to make things more manageable in your kitchen, and also, I had 4 different skillets that you need to have for your household as well, right? As I'm cleaning everything.
Honey balsamic ginger.
And then the last one that I did recently is I made a honey ginger balsamic glaze salmon with cauliflower rice and sauteed broccoli and roasted purple carrots. Right? We ain't playing no games on this channel.
The other one was the 15-minute stir fry.
And also I did a 15-minute stir fry. So yes. So I have been putting in work, y'all. For y'all, right? In between my jobs of catering and dancing and doing everything that I do, I'm still providing you guys with content that you can use in your kitchen to create some delicious meals.
What videos would they like?
Yeah, exactly. Susie posted a question right now. What videos would you like for me to make for you to learn? What do you want to learn? Okay? If you want to learn something, definitely under the videos or even this one, let me know what lessons you want to learn, what video you want me to make on what dish you would like to try and do in your kitchen, so that I can definitely make a video for you. Or if there's any techniques that you want to learn. I know I didn't go over any knife skills today, you know what I'm saying? But knife skills really help your prep time. Good, especially for different vegetables, knowing how to cut different vegetables. So I plan on doing something like that later on, but if you guys want me to do it earlier, I can definitely do that for you, right? So our chicken is basically at that point where we're going to need to put our potatoes in, right? And then we might add a little bit more water or a little bit more stock to the pan to make sure that it is ready to go, right? And with this brown stew chicken, normally Jamaicans eat either rice and beans, rice on peas, right, as we call it, not rice and beans. I think the world just labeled it rice and beans because that's what it is, but we say rice on peas, right? Rice on peas. That's right. Rice and peas, or we eat it with white rice, or also we have things what we call ground food, which is like yams, yellow yam, white yam, banana, green banana. We also eat it with what else? dumplings, right? Cooked dumplings, right? Maybe I'll do something on that, right? At some point. Right now we're going to check on, ooh, look at that sexy thing right there. Where is this thing, right? So here we go. Look at this thing. Look how beautiful that looks, right? I'm going to add about a half cup more water. Good. Not water, but chicken stock. Right? I'm going to add some chicken stock. Right? Because it's already thickening. All right, and I'm going to add a half cup more of chicken stock. And what I'm going to do here is add my potatoes so they can also cook. I'm going to drain my potatoes, right? Drain my potatoes and add them to this, right? Add them to this and just let that cook. I'm going to wait till it reduces for another 5 to 7 minutes. And then I will start adding some more flavors. Of course, I'm going to taste it in about 5 and 7 minutes and find out what else can I add to this to make sure it finishes with the perfect flavor. Okay? So, we want to get all those potatoes into the sauce. Okay? Cover that and let that cook. Here we go. Right? The potatoes take about 10 minutes to cook. Right? Take about 10 minutes. So that's why we don't want to, oh, that smells good. I just got a whiff of that thing after cleaning around it. And I was like, what? Woof. Wolfies.
A couple things. Amber said we appreciate you. And Jackie said this is amazing. So informative. I don't know how to say her name. T-R-A.
Tara?
Tara?
Yeah.
Okay, Tara, yeah. Where do you usually do your grocery shopping for the more difficult to find ingredients?
Well, Wegmans has become incredibly resourceful for international foods, right? Over the last 2 years, I've been noticing Wegmans have been starting to incorporate a lot of international food in different sections of their supermarket. If you check out their, and certain Wegmans in different areas have all your your international foods. Like green banana, they're starting to carry a lot of green banana. They're starting to carry a lot of plantains. They're starting to carry a lot of chayote squash or chocho. They're starting to carry coconuts. They're starting to carry also for vegans or people that like to try different fruits. There's star fruit. There is also jackfruit, and I have some jackfruit somewhere here. Where is it? Where did I put that jackfruit? Right? For if you like to venture into, it's probably up here. All right, move that a little bit. All right, so if you want to venture into some vegan or vegetarian area, this right here is called young jackfruit. Do not use ripe jackfruit, because when you cook ripe jackfruit down, it becomes this rubbery, sweet, gummy thing that is not it's super sweet and perfumey, right? Green jackfruit does not have a flavor, right? And it has the texture of chicken, right? So there's water, it's in this brine, and what you have to do is, drain the brine from the can, and also make sure the jackfruit gets some type of dryness, and you can treat it like chicken, right? Same thing as chicken. It's already cooked, it's already ready. You just have to make it in the sauce or sear it up or deep fry it, and you have some, substitute for chicken right here, right? So this is something I plan on doing a lesson on, not super soon, but I will do that as well, right? So here we go. Our sauce is perfect right now, right? The only thing that we need to do, I'm going to taste it with a spoon, right? Before we add anything else, right? Here we go. I'm going to taste it. Whew. Good. That thing is good, right? We're We haven't even added the ketchup yet, and it's like already perfect, right? Oh, I can't wait. Make me want to dance. All right. So there we go.
Cheryl said, "Thank you, Chef Todd. Would enjoy knife skills. Also, rice and peas, chicken, meat patties, jerk chicken."
Oh snap! She wants the whole thing.
Yeah.
I make some really good beef patties. Yeah. And rice and beans. I think Susie's brother, before he passed, like loved my rice and beans. Like he loved my rice and beans. A lot of people love my rice and beans because I learned from one of the best, well, two of the best, well, three of the best. Jeez. Dang. Yeah, I learned from my grandmother, my mother, and my neighbor in Jamaica, Miss Patsy. She makes. Sorry, Mom. Sorry, Grandma. Miss Patsy makes the best. They know. The whole community know. Miss Patsy makes the best rice and peas. Okay? So I learned from all three of them, and I have many, many tricks because it took me about I don't want to say 2 years. It took me a little bit more than that to learn how to make rice and peas like flavorful, nice and shelly, or the grains are separated, and you could eat it by itself. Like, that's how good rice and beans needs to be, right? You should be able to eat it by itself, and then everything else is just a complement to that side dish, okay? So, we're almost there, y'all. The Jamaican Brown Stew Chicken.
Oh, shout out to the people who are still on.
Yeah, shout out to the people that are still here. I appreciate you guys. We're almost to the end of this. We're into the finishing stretch, the last lap of this cooking class. Right? It's going a little bit longer than
4:30.
Oh Lord. 3:45, so we're like 45 minutes over, right? This was supposed to take the extra 45 minutes. Or, 1 hour and 45 minutes. We were supposed to start at like 3. But it's all good. We're almost done. Woo! Right? We're at an important phase of this right now. Let me rinse my spoon because I've already tasted this thing. I washed it, put it to the side. Right, so here's our brown stew. All right, the sauce is looking nice and thick. Our potatoes are almost cooked, right? Want to make sure we put that thing around, push it around, right? It's almost done. Flip those pieces of chicken over so they're falling apart right now. All right, push it around. There we go. Almost done. I think I might add a little bit more water, a little bit more stock in there, just a little bit to make sure our potatoes are cooked. They're almost cooked, but I just want to make sure they are tender, right? So I'm going to add just a little touch, like 2 tablespoons. All right, there we go. They're almost there, and this is almost done. All right.
Cheryl said no worries, this is worth it.
Awesome. All right, here we go. The brown stew chicken is almost done, y'all.
Amber has a question.
Go ahead, Amber.
Has Rishone ever eaten at Mama Marley's in Jamaica? We would visit there every time, or we would go there every time we would visit until they changed the name.
Well, we didn't really eat out. If we ate out, it was like super, super special. Like, my grandma and mom and everybody in my family are such amazing cooks that we cooked everything at home, really. So even when I came to the States, like, if we do eat out, it's because we're around and like shopping or doing things all day long, so we're not able to like cook. But we always make breakfast, and we always make dinner, right? Lunch is kind of up in the air. Depends on if we're home or not. Otherwise, we are cooking. Everything is being cooked. So.
We have a question. Tara asked, where do you usually list the ingredients to buy if you want to cook along with you?
In the Facebook group. Good question. Like, I listed the ingredients in the photos of what the dishes are going to be, but I also listed in the description of the Facebook event. Okay? So they're all listed there. And then in the beginning of this, the beginning of this live, there is this long song of my, like, theme song, you know what I'm saying? Where basically, where I list all the ingredients again for you guys to check at home that you guys have all the ingredients. So within like 4 days or a few days before the live, I list the ingredients of what we're going to use in each dish in the Facebook event.
If you're not on his Facebook, it's Plated Soul.
Yes, Plated Soul.
So they know, because they might not know.
If you can find me on Facebook, it's Rishone Todd, and again, you will find Plated Soul as well. Plated Soul, and it's like written on a dish in like
Script.
Not script, but italic script. Okay, so here we go. We're almost done. Here we go. Let's do that last part of it. Right? We have our ketchup. Good. We have our ketchup, and what we're going to do is put about a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons of ketchup in there, as well as some citrus, right? We have some lime or lemon, okay? And what we're going to do is basically take this thing and we are going to stir it up, turn the stove down, and just let that last part of this like simmer the ketchup into and cook the ketchup into the sauce, okay? And basically what you have after that is your brown stew chicken, right? So I turned it down. We have the sauce. We have the chicken, nice and tender, and I'm taking the thyme pieces out of the pan. Usually I make a bouquet of thyme, but in Jamaica we just throw the thyme in, right? We ain't got time for that. Alright, so there we go. We're just gonna let that simmer on low. Right? We're gonna turn it down really low. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, your Jamaican brown stew chicken. And Susie's gonna get a shot of that. Hopefully it's not too hot. Right? Hopefully the stove is not too hot for it to turn off. Right? But that is your Jamaican brown stew chicken. Right there. Good. As it's simmering, that is your Jamaican brown stew chicken. There you go. All right. I think that's enough. Right? All right. Don't risk it, Susie. We can't have things shut down right now. All right. So there we go. Our Jamaican brown stew chicken. We're going to cover that up and let that simmer for another 5 minutes, and then you can serve.
Wow.
That's it.
Wow, wow.
That is your Jamaican brown stew chicken, and you can serve it over rice. You can make some rice, and that's it, y'all.
Ooh, Alexis said I would love for you to do a breakfast segment.
Oh
yes.
Yeah, I love breakfast food. So yeah, I would definitely do that. You know what? I would love to do. But this one, yeah, I would love to do this one. I have this breakfast pizza that I make the crust out of hash browns. I make a hash brown crust and then fried eggs, and then I use like Parmesan cheese with peppers and eggs on top. Whatever you want to put as toppings to create this incredible breakfast pizza. All right. So if I do something, if I do a live, I will do it on that.
Yes.
Okay. So.
Can I get a shot of that?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Do that. All right. So there we go. This is our ending brown stew chicken.
Hi, friend.
All right. Susie's gonna take some photos, right, while I go in and do some additional cleaning. Because, you know, got a single mom it. You know what I'm saying? That's what you do. All right, clean it up.
Did I learn anything new today?
All right. Susie wants to know if anyone learned anything new today. Like, hit us in the comments and let us know. That is our evening, our 3 lessons of chicken quesadilla, shrimp scampi, and we finished it up with some incredible brown stew chicken, right? All right, so that's it.
Ooh,
really.
You have so many options to eat from right now.
And you can prep for the week.
Error.
What's that?
An error occurred. Please try again later.
What happened?
I don't know. Can you guys hear us?
Can you guys hear and see us? Let us know.
Let me see. It looks like I can see us. I don't know. It might just be on ours. Possibly. I can see us on.
You can see everything?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I think it just might be ours. Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so
Yes. They said yes to breakfast pizza. And Amber said, I made rice with mine and I'm plating for everyone right now.
what?
Flavor is absolutely incredible. Thank you for doing the class. Amber!
Yes.
Picture.
I know. Take a picture, please. Take a picture and send it to us.
See it.
Of all the dishes that you guys make, take a picture and send it to us, or send it to me, so I can see what it looks like and how it went for you at home. Okay?
Yes.
Um,
And they are saying that the brown stew chicken looks great.
awesome, right?
Learn lots of new tips and techniques. And yes, they can still hear and see us. So I don't
Yes,
know.
good. Awesome. So that was our lesson for today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plate the brown stew chicken after I'm done washing these dishes, which is not much left, right? You know, got to get those, got to get everything clean, man, because after you cook for a while, you just want to sit down and eat. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't have somebody to wash dishes, right?
He's talking to me.
Because Susie just likes to eat. After she eats, she just sits there, and it's like she's like in this state of like, that was so good, oh my God, and then she forgets that the kitchen needs to be cleaned.
Fine.
it's fine.
Good.
All right. So that, guys, is your 3-part lesson. Your 3-part lesson cooking class for today, right? That is it. We made chicken quesadilla, which is cold right now. We made some shrimp scampi, which is also cold right now, but we have enough for later to eat. And then we have our Jamaican Brown Stew Chicken, which is right here, looking good. I'm going to turn the stove off, and that's it, guys. We are done. I'm going to plate this so you can see it, and Susie's going to take some photos.
Jackie said you gave us so many tips and tricks I've never known before. This was an amazing class and opportunity to learn. Thank you so much for taking the time to do all these recipes.
Of course, of course. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you guys for making this such a success for the first free live class that I've done through my Plated Soul channel. Okay, so there we go. We're going to plate. Let me close this real quick. Right, we're going to plate this brown stew chicken. Right. So what we're gonna do is take a piece of chicken or thigh. We're gonna put it in the middle of the plate, along with another piece of chicken. Right. This is so tender. The potatoes are nice and cooked. That is the brown stew chicken right there. And what I'm going to do is get a spoon and get some of this sauce, potato, and basically all the things that you want in your brown stew chicken right here. And I'm going to just hit this with some herbs to finish it up. And that, my friends and sous chefs, is your Jamaican brown stew chicken. Right? There we go. We are going to cut up some flat leaf parsley. All right, here we go. If I can find what I need, here we go. All right, let's cut this up. All right. All right, we've got our parsley nice and cut. We're just going, ooh, look at that thing right there. All right, here we go. Cut that. There we go. Nice. All right, here we go. This is your brown stew chicken.
I'll get it. No. Yeah, keep it right there. Tell them about it.
This is your brown stew chicken, right, with the chicken breast and chicken thigh with some chayote squash, some carrots, some potatoes, some red onions, and you know, the sauce we created for it, okay? You can eat this over rice. You can eat this over rice and peas. You can eat this with some dumplings. You can eat this with some yams. You can eat this even with some pasta. You can figure out how to make this with pasta. You can toss this with some pasta and eat it too, right? They do this in, I think, New York City. They call it Rasta pasta, where they mixed kind of like Jamaican cuisine with Italian cuisine, right? Now we're going to taste this bad boy, right? And get you people on to the next thing that you're going to do today, okay? Can't spend your whole evening with me. You know what I'm saying? I need a fork. Here we go. All right, we're gonna taste this. Try not to knock this thing over, right? We are basically done. And we're gonna taste this brown stew chicken really quick. Do you know you have a total of how many people attended, Susie?
151 playbacks.
Oh, wow. Awesome. All right, so here we go. All right, we're going to taste this brown stew chicken. I'm going to take some of this breast, rub it in some sauce. A piece of a breast, Susie. Your mind, Susie. All right, so I'm going to get some chicken breast right here. That smells amazing. That's delicious. Here we have potato. This is all incredible. Oh, Susie, wait till you taste this, yo.
I can't wait.
Wait till you taste this thing. All right, there we go. I'm getting some chicken thighs too, because chicken thighs just melt in the stew form, man. Whether you use chicken thighs for stir fries or for stews, they just work out so well. Like chicken breasts tend to be a little bit stringy sometimes, but in brown stew, it seems to work very well. All right, so we have chicken thighs right here. That's the best part.
The chicken thigh?
Chicken thighs, man. They just soak up all the flavor. I'm gonna get some potatoes and some chayote squash, and those also melt in your mouth. I have some on my. I just got that chayote squash. So good. Some chocho. So good. All right.
Okay, so what are we saying? Looks awesomely delicious. I agree. I think so too. Oh, I missed some stuff. Cheryl said, I love this 3-part lesson, cooking class. Can't wait to make everything. Thank you, Chef Todd.
You are welcome. Thank you for joining.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining, Cheryl. I appreciate that.
And
what else?
Subscribing. She subscribed earlier, so thank you for that.
Yes, thank you for subscribing to the channel as well. You are going to support many more classes ahead of in the future. So thank you guys for subscribing. If you're watching today, definitely click the subscribe button to see. Hit the notification bell, leave some comments, light up my comment section, right? If you guys made this at home and it's incredible, light up this comment section, whether you like made it at home or not, because it looks delicious. Like, just hit up that comment section, because that's how this YouTube channel grows is with your participation. All right, so I appreciate everybody tuning in today and making all 3 meals. If you did make all 3 meals with me today, or if you made one, that's okay too, and you didn't have time to make all 3 meals, maybe you want to go back and check it out later. Trust me, all 3 meals are delicious in their own way. Okay, all 3 meals have incredible flavor, and all 3 meals was made in one afternoon in one cooking class from start to finish. So thank you guys so much.
There's a couple more things.
All right, Susie has a couple more things. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
All right, so Tara wants to know, are you going to teach how to make the peas?
The rice and peas?
Yes.
Not this evening, but eventually, yes, I will do a video on how to do that. Maybe I do it in an afternoon. Maybe it's another lesson, another live lesson. Okay. We'll save that for another live lesson.
And then Amber said it's a huge hit in my house right now, even with my picky eater.
Oh, wow. That's huge.
Yes.
Amber just said the brown stew chicken is a huge hit in our house right now, even with the picky eaters. Again, Rishone, R-I-S-H-O-N-E, Rishone is a picky eater, right? And if I can eat my food without any issues, then I know everybody can eat it without any issues. That's the reason I became a chef, okay? So this food is delicious. Enjoy it at home. And when you do make it, definitely send me pictures, send me photos, send me everything so I know how you guys did. Because this channel doesn't work without you, and you sharing back what you do at home doesn't work if it's just a one-way street. I want to see how you do in the kitchen, okay? And showing me what you do at home through pictures or comments or whatever you want to share with me I just want to see that you guys, are doing these things at home and enjoying the different techniques and different tips that I'm giving you to learn from as you become better in the kitchen, as we're growing, okay? So that is it for our evening of cooking 3 different dishes: chicken quesadilla, shrimp scampi, and then we finish with some Jamaican brown stew chicken. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. Hopefully the camera switch back and forth wasn't like a big deal. It only happened for a quick second, but then, our camera cooled off and we were able to do it again because, it's hot up in this kitchen. When you start cooking, the heat definitely increases. But we did a good job today, everyone. Give yourself a hand. Yay! Ooh, 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 ooh. Right? That was 3 dishes we made in about 3 hours. It was supposed to be 1 hour and 45 minutes, but it turned into almost 3 hours, right? So that's it. That's 3 dishes, right? So see you next time. Chef Todd is out. Thank you, guys.